It's April 13th, 2026, and time for your money market update. I'm Miranda Andrew.
And I'm Andrew Smart.
Thanks so much for watching. It is Harold's birthday today. It is my husband's birthday. So if you see him today, make sure that you wish him a happy fucking birthday, because that is what he would prefer. So let's take a quick look at our McHenry County numbers before we jump into what's happening in our area. So in the last 7 days, we had 171 new listings, 145 under contract, 71 closed sales, 36 price changes, 3 expireds, and 64 currently on the private network. Now, April is like ground zero for the spring market. So especially mid-April, we've got a lot of transactions happening, a lot of people calling, listing appointments. We've got buyer appointments. This is kind of the hot time. Why? Well, because then when you put a home under a contract in mid-April, you're closing at the end of May, and that sets you up perfectly for the school year. So the school year is always going to be a huge motivating factor for a lot of people in our country. So right now, what we are seeing is that prices are going up. We are having multiple offers. We are seeing escalation clauses. We are seeing appraisal gap waivers. We're seeing the return of cash offers.
The whole 9 yards.
We had a buyer that put in an offer this weekend, and there were 13 offers. And this was a luxury property. 13 offers, and their offer over list price was not even close. So the winner of that is going to be a cash offer, almost $75,000 over list price. So that's kind of the environment. So I think we are going to look back on this year and think the same thing that we had the last couple of years. I wish I had bought every single property that was listed, because the price today is going to seem like a bargain next year.
This is true.
So just keep that in mind when you're looking at prices and thinking, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Prices are insane. Just imagine what you're going to think next year when it's 6% higher.
Yeah, and I think something we talked about last week actually was anyone that's bought in the last 4 years, the one thing they haven't said is, I wish I didn't buy.
Yes.
No one has said that.
No one has said that. Not one of my buyers has called me up and said, boy, I really wish I didn't buy that house in 2023.
Right.
No one. They are all glad that they bought, because prices have only gone up since then. So even though interest rates are holding, what are happening with interest rates?
Interest rates as of the last time they updated last Thursday, they're 6.37. So they dropped a little bit from what we saw the week before. Week before we were about 6.46-ish.
They're mid-6.
Dropped a little bit. Yeah, I mean, like we said though, they're holding at around 6.5. Right now, inflation is at about 3%. Government would like to see 2%. And like we've kind of talked about here with the conflict in Iran, it's always kind of a huge wild card. It's always a huge wild card. But right now, rates are kind of holding, like we said, mid-6s, as there was a lot of speculation that they'd be falling right below, maybe high 5s throughout this year. That speculation is kind of gone at this point. And we think we're kind of going to live around mid-6s for the rest of this year at this point. And everyone's kind of getting acclimated to the mid-6s at this point, you know.
Yeah, they're just sort of resigned to the fact that that's just what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And that is exactly where they should be. And so people should be acclimated to 6.5%. They should not be hoping for 3% or 4% or, God forbid, 2%. That is not reality. That is not something that we should be expecting. In fact, I've told people, if the rates are ever 2.5 again, you should refinance, and then you should panic because something is terribly, terribly wrong. So that is not normal. So 6.5 is normal. We are seeing people getting really used to that. Buyers are coming out of the woodwork. You know, one of the statistics that came out at the end of last year from the National Association of Realtors was that we were going to see more luxury transactions this year. And as we pull up the MLS, I would say we've seen 750 is considered luxury in our area. And I would say we have a lot more transacting happening in that upper price point
100%,
than we've seen in recent years. So I think that we're going to continue to see that happening. So we've got a very lively real estate market. Andrew and I haven't had a day off
busy
in a couple of weeks now. So if you're looking for us, we're probably working, and we will continue to do that. So if you have any questions, please reach out. We'd be happy to help you. Have a great day.